guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I get a full coverage look using some of my favorite products. This is something that I'll normally do if I have a long day ahead of me, or if I have an event to go to at night, or if I'm just feeling like wearing a full coverage look. I am more on the combo to oily side, so the products that I am going to be using today are going to be catered for that skin type. If your skin is a little bit more on the dry side, I have a few options for you. Unfortunately, I don't have too many, but I'm sure that some of these you could use yourself as well. So if you guys want to see how I get to my full coverage glam, then keep watching. Okay, so to get started, I went ahead and I've washed my face and I've moisturized. That's always one of the most important things that you should do at the beginning of your day. It's usually the first thing that I do when I wake up. I'll brush my teeth, wash my face, kind of goes hand in hand. So now moving on to primers. I have three that I really like. One is mostly for hydration, and this is the Faced Hangover RX Replenish Face Primer. I have the little mini version, the travel size. I really like putting this on the outer portions of my face since I am more on the combo side. Sometimes it's more oily, sometimes it's more combo, kind of depends. I don't like to focus that in the middle of my face just because that's where I do tend to get a little oilier, and it helps kind of balance everything out using this primer on the outer portions. And then as far as my T-zone and my pore area, I have two that I really enjoy. I have the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. You guys have seen me use this in a couple of other tutorials. And then I also really like the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in, I think this is just Step 1. It's the smoothing one. I also have a little travel size version of this. This one's also really good. Today I'm actually going to use the Makeup Forever one. It's been a little while since I've used that one, so why not? So I'm just going to take a little bit and I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. To take it with my finger, and I'm just going to press it into my skin. Now I'm going to go in with my Too Faced primer, and I'm just going to put a couple dots on the outer portions of my face and blend that in. Okay, so now that we are nice and primed, we're going to go ahead and move on to foundation. A couple of my favorite foundations for a full coverage look are two that are high-end and one that is from the drugstore. So the two high-end, you guys have seen me use this a lot. It's the Lancome 24-hour makeup. I really enjoy this one. It has a matte finish. It's very comfortable. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It blends really easily. Another favorite one of mine from the higher end side is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet, which is this one. I also really enjoy this one a lot. It's also on the matte side, obviously. Very full coverage, light on the skin, velvety touch. As far as drugstore, my favorite full coverage foundation from the drugstore has to be the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-hour foundation. It lasts you a pretty long time. It's very comfortable. It is on the matter side. The nice thing is they also have a Pro-Glow version of this foundation. So if you are more on the combo and oily side, I would definitely stick to this one. But if you are more on the dry side, you can go for this one. If you're looking for a good full coverage foundation from the drugstore, I definitely recommend these. But for today's purpose, I'm actually gonna go in with, you know what? I was gonna go in with the Lancome one, but I wear it all the time. I think I'm gonna go in with this one. My Makeup Forever one. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take a beauty blender. I found that for me personally, this is the best way to apply foundation, and I'm just going to begin to press that into the skin. Okay, so now that I applied my foundation, I'm going to go ahead and move on to concealer. So a few of my favorite full coverage concealers, I have two that I really enjoy using. One from the drugstore, which is the Physicians Formula Instant Ready Full Coverage Concealer. This one reminds me a lot of the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And then another one that everyone raves about here on YouTube is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This one is really awesome too. Super full coverage, a little bit goes a long way. I really like this one. Unfortunately, I don't have one that is dark enough for me right now. This would be way too light, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my Physicians Formula one. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on a concealer brush. I'm just gonna dot it where I want to blend it in, which is right here. I usually do a little triangle motion just to brighten up that area and to really help cover up those dark circles. And then I also bring a little bit into the inner corner because I tend to have a little bit of darkness in there, so it helps with that too. And I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, and then with a lighter concealer, something like, let's see, the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, or even this, Nars creamy concealer, one of the two. I'm gonna take this and put it on my Cupid's bow, my chin, and just run it kind of down my nose a little bit. And this is more for the highlighted effect, so it kind of evens out and you don't have so much brightness underneath your eyes, and that's it. So I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. Okay, so now that we have all of that blended in, all of our concealer, all of our creams are done, we're going to go ahead and set our face. And two of my favorite powders from the high-end side are the Laura Mercier translucent powder and also the CoverFx translucent powder. On the more affordable side is the RCMA no color powder. This is also in a universal translucent. For today's purposes, I am going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. You can either pour some in the cap if you want to, or I usually just have it closed, shake it upside down, and then tip it back over and open it up, and then I have a bunch of powder here. I'm going to take my sponge, and before I dip my sponge into the powder, I'm just going to go ahead and go over with my damp beauty sponge to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge and I'm going to dip it in, and I'm going to grab a good amount and I'm going to go ahead and set underneath my eyes. I'm using a pressing motion, and then since I do have a lot left over, I'm kind of pressing it down, moving down with the sponge, but you're never swiping. You always want to kind of pounce and press it into your skin. So now that I've gone ahead and set underneath my eyes, I'm also going to use the same method using my beauty blender to set in the areas that I tend to be a little bit more oily, so my nose, my T-zone kind of area. Alright, so now that we set all the other areas, the only other area that needs to be set at this point is the outer portions of our face. So you can either take a brush and use the translucent powder, or if you're a little bit high maintenance like I am, you can take a fluffy brush and a powder that has a little bit of color to it. I really like using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium. This one just has a little bit of color. I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and just kind of run that through the portions that I didn't set with the translucent powder. Alright guys, and that's how I do my full coverage foundation powder routine. It's pretty easy. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but once you kind of get the swing of things and you do it just a few times, you'll see you can do it in no time. This usually takes me like 10 minutes to do, maybe at the max. I usually just put on some music and I zone out and I just go for it. What takes me longer is actually doing my eyebrows. I'm gonna finish doing my face and I will be right back. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it informative. If you want to see how I got this eye look, I'm going to be posting it about a day or two after I post this video. So please subscribe to my channel so you guys can see that video, and I will see you guys in my next one.